Greetings everyone. I would like to welcome you all to your first online class of arts. In this class, we would be learning about Introduction to Arts. Let me give you an overview of what we will be going through in this lesson. In this lesson, we would be learning about the basic concepts of art, art history, and types and forms of arts, how art influences our daily lives, and how we can utilize the history of art in our artworks. The definition of art, some of you might be thinking, what is art? I'm using this word again and again, art, but what is art? So basically, art is the expression of human emotions, intellect, or creativity. For example, I'm quite happy in this moment. I'm having a great lecture with my class. It's my first online lecture. I'm enjoying it. So I'm quite happy, surprised, anxious. There's a mix of emotions in my brain. So what do I do if I want to express it? I'm an artist, so what I would do is I will take out my sketchbook or art notebook. I will take out my pencil and I will start drawing something related to my happiness if I'm trying to express my happiness. In that, I would be drawing smiley faces. I would be writing something happiness related to happiness. So if I make something like that, in that moment, in that drawing, I'm expressing my emotions that I'm happy. So art is basically the expression of human emotion, creativity, and skill in that way. I hope you all understood it. Now let us further continue. Second thing we would be going through is the history of arts. Now, I know history and arts, some of you might be thinking this would get boring, but trust me, it will be interesting. Bear with me. In the history of humankind, humans have always used creative ways to express their emotions and their expressions. When there were cavemen, they used drawings on cave walls to record and remember their history and activities. In this example, you might have heard me saying, when there were cavemen, they used drawings on cave walls to record and remember their history and activities. What I meant by this is, some of you might have seen some cartoon movies regarding cavemen, like Croods. Croods is a great example. So they were basically people living in Stone Age that were called cavemen because they used to live in caves. What they used to do is they would use dirt and they would make hand paintings on the wall of the caves. Some of them might be making elephants or human figures, something related to human figures. In that way, they were recording the events that were happening in their time. For example, if a caveman went out to hunt an elephant for food, when he hunted the animal, he came back, he wanted to record this as a memory. He wanted to express it, and he used art. So he drew something on the wall using clay, dirt, whatever mediums were available to them at that time, and he expressed that on a wall in form of a wall painting. In that way, he expressed his idea, his emotion, and he recorded it. Let me continue. Ancient Egyptians used to make art forms and artwork on the walls of their temples, palaces, and pyramids to record their history as well. In this prime example, we know about Egyptian culture. Some of you might know about Egyptian culture. Egypt is mainly associated with pyramids, glyphs, and sphinx. So, but also some of you might have seen some cartoons related to Egyptian art or something, or in that way you would have seen wall paintings of Egyptian. There are some symbols that are of eyes. We would go through that history in our history of civilization lecture, but for now I am giving it as an example that even ancient Egyptian used to draw and record their history on walls in form of figurines, in form of paintings, in different forms. They used to draw animal faces, they used to draw what was happening in their ritual, how they worshipped their gods, etc. Continuing with this, different civilizations throughout the history of humankind have done the same including now there are example of other civilizations as well that did the same. Mayans did the same, Inca tribe, Aztecs, Greek, Romans, to name a few. Now we would be continuing with the concepts of art. I hope so far all of you have got what I tried to convey to you, and now we will be continuing with the concepts of art. Remember, if you have any questions regarding this lesson that we are conducting right now, and also if you have any other questions relating to what I have told you so far and what I have conveyed to you so far, you can ask your parents to send me an email. The email address will be provided at the end of the lesson that I uploaded as a form of document on the Horizon portal, and your parents, you can access that. The email address is provided at the end of the document. Your parents can access that email. Send me an email of any question you would have regarding so far what we have talked about, regarding the lesson, regarding this e-learning thing, the whole deal. Your parents can send me an email directly. So you don't need to worry about anything. If you have any question, you can send me an email. So I know art is basically we think that we are drawing, but this history thing, but this lecture is important for you because in this lecture you would be learning basic introduction, terminologies, different words that will help you throughout your academic year. So this is for you, so bear with me. Next is the concepts of art. The form of art that we will be studying in our lessons is called fine art. There are many different types of art, but our main focus will be on fine arts and visual arts. Now this keeps getting confusing, I know. So far what we have gone through is what is art, a way of expression, history of art, how different civilizations used art to record their happenings at that time, and now we are on to concepts of art. So now new things, fine art, visual art. Basically you might know everything has its branches like a tree. So if we're studying art, there might be some types and forms of art as well. The main ones that we would be studying are fine arts and visual arts. So these are basic concepts like definitions of words and explanation of words that you might be confused about right now. First word is art work. An artwork is a work of art in which a person expresses their emotion or an idea. For example, a drawing or a painting made by a person represents their emotion or an idea in form of an artwork. Again, their emotion or an idea. Again, it came back again. So basically, artwork is a work of art. Artwork is a work of art. Example, it's a drawing in which Sir On is trying to express his happiness about this e-learning lecture. Alright, so what he did was he made some smiley faces, etc. So that way he is expressing. So basically what he made, that drawing, is called the artwork. I hope you understand that. Artist, what is an artist? A person who creates an artwork is called an artist. For example, a painting and a drawing. These are two prime examples, a painting and a drawing. So basically, if Sir On created a drawing, the drawing is the artwork, but Sir On is the artist because I am the person making it. Likewise, if you are making, and trust me, everyone is an artist. It's not some specific classification for someone who is really good at arts. Everyone is an artist. Anything that you make to express your feelings or your ideas, that is art, and that is a form of art. So if you draw something on a piece of paper, in that way you are the artist. Next thing, the most important thing while we draw or paint, and we don't know about that. Some of you do, but some of us don't. That is art mediums. The materials that are used for making an artwork are called art mediums. The materials. Those materials include, let me give you an example, pencil, that eraser, that sharpener that you have with you right now, that notebook, art notebook, those drawing color pencils, those color markers, those are all art materials. We use them to make the drawing. So those art materials are called art mediums. So if I tell you in any other lesson that use your art mediums to make an artwork, it means I am asking you to use your drawing color pencils, to use your art materials that you have with you to make a drawing or a painting. So an artwork can be a painting, drawing, a sketch, anything. Alright? There are also some examples of it. I will read it for you. If we are making an oil painting, we will use a canvas as a primary medium. You might know that we use a canvas for an oil painting on which we will be making art. For that, I took a break. So, where were we? I was explaining to you oil canvases and oil paintings. What we need is a canvas to paint on. We would use oil paints and brushes. So those oil paints, those oil paint brushes, that canvas is our art medium. Likewise, if we are making a drawing, we will use a paper as a base and pencils to draw on that paper. In this, the paper and the pencil being used to make the artwork are the art mediums. I hope you understood that. Basically, the paper that you are using, the pencil that you are using, and those color pencils, eraser, sharpener, those are called art mediums. To sum it all up, your pencil, razor, sharpener, canvas, oil paint, whatever you use to make art is called an art medium. So now we will be going through types of art. There are many types of art that we will be studying throughout our lessons. The following is the list and description of a few among them. Like I mentioned before, fine arts and visual arts. Now I would tell you what is included in fine art and what is included in visual art and how we will be studying them. First, fine arts. It includes drawing, painting, sculpture, printmaking, etc. So why do we classify drawing, painting, sculpture and printmaking in fine arts? Can't we say that they are part of visual arts? We cannot. Basically, there's a difference between them. Fine arts means drawing, painting and sculpture. So what is happening here? Basically, we are using physical objects like a paper, like clay, like a canvas, like a paintbrush. We are using physical objects to create that artwork. So those artworks that are created that way are considered in fine arts. But those that are not made in that way are called visual arts. For example, now I will give you examples of visual art. It includes graphic art, book illustration and calligraphy. Now, there will be a confusion for you, but I will clear it for you soon. It will come up. Basically, let us start with graphic art. Graphic art means, right now, let me tell you something. Let me give you an example. I am recording this lecture right now for you. It's form of a graphic art in which I am providing you with education about arts, and I'm using my ideas and creativity to make this whole lecture, this whole video. So this video is also a form of graphic art in which I'm expressing something to you. So this is called visual art. Same in that way. Photography, videography, meaning video making, photograph taking, and or if we edit a photo, some of you might use social media, and whenever you upload a photo of yours, you might edit it a bit in a editing software or something. That editing that you are doing is also a form of art, that editing as well, and it's considered in visual arts. Likewise, book illustration. Some of you might have read storytelling books in which there are different drawings, colored drawings, printed drawings. All of those drawings are made on computers, on softwares. So digitally, whatever is made is a part of visual arts. It involves digital art making. Now, the confusion part that I mentioned, calligraphy. I will give you a brief introduction about calligraphy. The topic will come up, but let me tell you what calligraphy is for now. just as an idea. You might have heard or seen different letters, artworks in which different letters are made in different shapes, in weird shapes. That art form is called calligraphy. Now there are two ways to make it. One way is physically on a piece of paper with a pencil or a drawing color. Secondly, we can also make it online or at our computer using a software. So that way calligraphy can be in fine arts, can be in visual art as well. So there are many things that can overlap as well. But generally fine art is drawing, painting, sculpture, printmaking, and visual art is graphic art, book illustration, and calligraphy, etc. So that's all. This is the basic introduction of arts. Now, some of you might be confused a lot. There were different concepts in it. Some of you might have studied it in the previous year. But let me give you a conclusion so that you will be able to remember. In this lesson, we covered the basic concept of art, like what an artwork is, who is an artist, what are the art mediums, and how we use them. Now, we also briefly discussed and learned how different civilizations use art to represent their ideas or to record their histories. We also learned about different types of arts like fine arts, visual arts, and how we use them in our daily life. For example, I gave you an example earlier. We use book illustrations for storytelling, books, etc. So this is what we learned so far. One more time, I will go through all of this one by one. What art is, way of expression, what is an artwork, the thing that drawing I'm making is an artwork, who is an artist, I'm an artist, you are an artist because we are making that artwork. What are we using to make that artwork? Pencil, drawing, colors, those are the art mediums. Types of art, fine art, visual art. Fine art were the ones that we physically make. Visual arts or the digital arts are the ones that we use to make on our computers or use technology or ICT to make them. So that is the conclusion. That's what we learned today. Now lastly, I would be concluding this lecture, and because I don't want it to be too boring for you, because this is our first introduction lecture, but trust me, in the next coming lessons we would be interacting more. I would be showing you how to make drawings. I would be making them myself, and you can follow the steps I tell you in that videos. And I will be making some crafts videos for you as well. I would be making 5-minute craft or something like that as well. But this is our first lecture, this is our introductory lecture, so that is why you have to keep up with me and you have to bear with me as well. Lastly, there are some questions that, because I know this is an online lecture and you cannot ask me questions directly right now while I'm recording it, because you would have to see the video later on, and then questions might pop up in your mind and you might want to ask them to me. For that I told you, your parents can send me an email directly at any time. By any time I mean in the timings of the class timing, or up till 4 to 5 p.m. in the evening, not at 10 p.m. in the night or 2 a.m. in the night or morning. So that time I might be sleeping, so be careful about that. And also, I was talking about those questions earlier. So can an artist, the first question that came to my mind while I was going through my lecture, I wrote a script for it, I wrote a physical document for it, and that I will be uploading in the Horizon portal. So while I was writing that, some questions came into my mind as well. Some might come into your mind. So I wrote those questions. First one, can an artist make anything as art? Like, my question was, so I'm an artist, can I make anything as art? Anything? Answer to it, yes. An artwork can be anything that represents the artist's idea, emotion, or any other form of expression. Again, an artwork can be anything that represents. It means an artwork can be anything that is representing my idea, basically. so I can make anything. Second question, a person who only makes drawings is called an artist? Like, I was thinking, if I am going to express my ideas, so if I only make drawing, only that way am I expressing my ideas, or is there any other way that I might be able to express my ideas? For that I got to think, and then there's the answer. No, art is a form of expression. For example, a person who makes music, now music, to express his ideas or emotion is also an artist, and only the form of art he uses is different. So you might all listen to music of different kinds. Mine are different as well. I do also listen to music as well. So in that music, the person who is singing a song, what is he doing? He's basically writing something. Either that idea came to his mind, he wrote a song, then he sang it, or he was really happy and the song came to his mind and he expressed it in the form of a song. So what is that? That is basically an expression of emotion. He is expressing his emotions in form of a song. So we can also say that song is also an artwork. That is a really good question and a really good answer. So you have to understand that artwork or art forms can be of different fields as well. What we will be studying is fine arts, visual arts, but there are other forms of arts as well. This is a point to ponder and for your own, so that you do a little research on it. So music is also a form of art, and the person who is singing is also an artist. Next thing, this is a good one. Is canvas or a paper only art mediums that we can use to make our artwork on? So can I only use canvas or a piece of paper to make art, or can I not use any other thing? This is a tricky one actually. So you see, the thing that we are making our artwork on can be a base or anything like that. So the answer, first let me tell you the answer to this question. No. There are many other art mediums that can be used instead of a canvas or a paper. But in fine arts, the most commonly used art mediums are canvas and paper. This requires critical thinking. Basically, I can paint on a wall. The painters that paint on a wall I'm sorry, my tongue slipped there. The painters that paint on the walls are also artists. So they are using the wall as their canvas, as their paper. So that is also an art medium. But we cannot go around painting walls. We have to stick to our paper and canvas because it is the most recognized and the ideal way of expressing yourself. Because if I ask you to make an oil painting, what would you do? Would you use oil paint colors on walls or floor? No, you won't. You would use them on a canvas. So if I ask you to make a drawing for me and present it to me, what would you do? Would you go on a wall, do the drawing and bring the wall with you? No, you cannot. That is physically impossible. So what you will do is make it on a piece of paper and bring that to me to show me what you made. And this sums it all up basically. Last things that I want to mention are, I will be providing the links. Well, if you went through that lesson plan, you are already there, then you jump to this video. But at the end of every lesson plan, every document that I upload there that you have to download or your parents can download, at the end of it or at the start of it, there will always be a link to a video lecture. If you want to read through the lecture, if you like reading, then I would have written everything for you in a Word document that you can read with details, definitions, concepts and everything. But if you want a more interactive lecture, there's also this option. You can just click on the link, and like this we would be interacting. You would be having a video lecture as well. In e-learning, you can use both ways, but the best way is to go through both ways. Do read and also do watch the video lecture. That would be helpful for you. Sometimes there are concepts that that might not get clear while reading something. and sometimes there are things that are not clear while watching a video. So you have both the ways. You can also read, you can also watch the video. And basically that's all. At the end, for the third time in this lesson, I am saying that again and again. And for the third time, I would like to say that if you have any questions, you can send me an email, or your parents. Always ask your parents to send me an email through the email address that I provided in the lesson that I uploaded earlier. Also, that sums it all up. For the next class, for the next lecture, it will be an interactive one. And I would like to suggest that you all go through this lesson plan thoroughly, because what I teach you is important for you in regards to that it will come in your exam at questions as to choose the best answers, as fill in the blanks, so you cannot miss on lectures or anything like that. And that would be all. I hope you all do great. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of your parents, respect your elders, and let's meet in our next online class. Take care all. Have a great day.